to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess,
I'm Connie.
and today we are going to chapter 7 of Twilight, which is Nightmare. So if you want to read along with us, reminisce, feel free to read the chapter before or just hang out.
Yes. So before we get into our Twilight episode today, just a reminder, please like and subscribe. We'd very much appreciate it. You can also find us on social media at TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. All of those have the handle at Chaos Chronicles Podcast, and that's Chronicles with an S. Yes. And it's a very windy day, and there's lots of noises outside. So we are just distracting dogs. There might be a few edits and cuts in this episode.
By a few, we mean there might be a lot.
There's ducks and wind. We're fighting some obstacles today.
Very chaotic day, but both of them just laid their heads down. So we're just going to get into it while we have the chance.
Here's open. Okay.
Right.
So, summary of where we've been up so far. Bella and Edward have started interacting despite Edward saying, "You shouldn't be friends with me, Bella." And Bella's like, "Oh, he's velvety, he's smooth, pretty." We're judging a little. But now Bella has managed to avoid getting roped into the girls ask boys dance with the excuse of she's going to Seattle that day. And now Edward had said, "Hey, can I drive with you to Seattle?"
Because your car definitely will not, or your truck will definitely not make it there.
Which,
kind of fair.
It's actually very fair, especially if you see the truck in the movie. I would have honestly had the same reaction.
Yeah, I looked it up to be like, okay, what are we picturing here? Yeah,
It's a clunker.
Yeah, just a bit.
She clunky.
Yeah.
She got personality, but she clunky.
Mm-hmm.
But then was there anything else? I think.
And then we met Jacob Black.
That's right.
Yes, and he told us about the cold ones, and that they're the same ones in the story. They're still the same ones, which is the Cullens family supposedly, but have gained 2 more.
Yep, because one of the girls makes a bitchy side comment, and she's like, "Oh, well, why don't the Cullens come over to the push and the territory?" Yep. And that's when one of Jacob's friends is like, "Yeah, the Cullens don't come here." And that's when Bella asks Jacob for more information by using her feminine wiles, as much as you have at 17 on a poor 15-year-old boy. But yeah, so that is where we left off, I believe.
Yeah, and they were driving on the way home.
Driving on the way home from the reservation beach.
Yep.
Yes. There we go.
Yep.
It's hard to keep up because I'm like, we talked about a couple other things, but I'm like, what's been published?
Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, this chapter begins when Bella gets home. So she is telling Charlie that she has a lot of homework to do, and Charlie is too distracted by the basketball game on the TV going on, so he doesn't notice that there's anything off with her mood or anything. Bella goes to her room and finds her CD player and puts in the CD that Phil gave her for Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
The CD was one of Phil's favorite bands, but Bella says they have a little too much bass and shrieking for her taste.
I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I thought they had a scene like that in the movie, or maybe it was an outtake, but I just have this memory of Nickelback playing.
Oh, come on.
I don't know if that's legit or if that was a parody and my brain just, that's leaking. Water bottle, sorry, y'all. But I just remember laughing when I saw that clip of like, I wouldn't necessarily put Nickelback at shrieking.
Not quite.
No, I mean a little on Look at This Photograph, but and y'all are lying if you didn't just sing that part in your head afterwards.
I definitely did. Yeah, I wouldn't classify him as shrieking though. But so Bella lays down on her bed and puts her headphones in, presses play, and turns up the volume until her ears hurt. She was doing this to make it impossible to think. She listened to the CD over and over until she was singing along with it. So Bella listens to the CD over and over until she is singing along with it and then ends up falling asleep. Bella is now in a dream and is slightly aware that she is dreaming. In this dream, Bella was in a green forest and could hear waves against the rocks nearby. She began to try to follow the sound because if she found the ocean, she would find the sun. But Jacob was tugging on her hand and was pulling her back into the forest. Bella asks what's wrong. Jacob responds in a terrified, that autocorrected to something that is not right.
Oh, autocorrect.
Gosh. I'm assuming it was supposed to be voice, but it said whistler. Not quite.
Close. Super close.
Jacob responds in a terrified voice, saying that she needs to run. Bella hears Mike calling from behind the trees to run toward him. Bella asks why again and is pulling against Jacob because she's desperate to find the sun. Jacob abruptly lets go, yelps, and starts shaking and falls to the ground and continues to twitch. Jacob disappears and a large red-brown wolf with black eyes takes his place. The wolf is facing the shore and is growling and baring teeth to expose his fangs. Mike yells for Bella to run again, but instead of running, she is watching as light was coming towards her from the beach. Edward appears from the trees and his skin is faintly glowing. His eyes are black and dangerous. He held up one hand and beckoned me to come to him. The wolf growled at my feet. At her feet.
We knew what you meant. You're good.
Okay, at her feet.
Oh, she wakes up. Dog cut
Yep.
again. She wakes up 5:30 in the morning, clothes are on, and she is unable to fall back asleep.
Yep. So Bella decided to get up and get ready for the day. Charlie had already left to go fishing. Sounds like it's Sunday, by the way. So Charlie left already to go fishing. After getting ready, Bella turned on her computer and searched one word: vampire.
I also love that this is back in the day of you powered on your computer for searches.
I know. Very slowly, results popped up, and they were anywhere from movies to gothic cosmetic companies. She finally found something promising that looked to be, quote, academic looking. And it says, quote again, throughout the vast, shadowy world of ghosts and demons, there is no figure so terrible, no figure so dreadful and abhorred, yet dight with such fearful fascination as the vampire, who himself neither ghost nor demon, but yet who partakes the dark natures and possesses the mysterious and terrible qualities of both. End quote. The other quote that was on this page is, quote, if there is in the world a well-attested account, it is that of the vampires. Nothing is lacking. Official reports. That's not the right word either. I don't know what it was meant to be. Something of well-known people, of surgeons, of priests, of mystics. The judicial proof is most complete. And with all that, who is there who believes in vampires? That second one was a weird quote, but
No, I'm vaguely recalling.
so the rest of the website that Bella was on was different myths of vampires. Bella read through everything carefully and was looking for anything that sounded familiar. She clicked on a dang. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. DANAG.
DANAG?
Mm-hmm.
Danang?
Danang.
Danang?
Danag. Danag.
Danang?
Sure, we'll go with Deneg.
It sounds like it should be like a Native American word.
Yeah. So apparently it was a Filipino
The Filipino.
vampire.
Have you heard the stories of the Filipino?
No. Is that going to be one of our October
We should, but just like
episodes?
a quick preview, it is the most terrifying thing because if you're wandering in the jungle at night and you come across a pair of legs standing upright, run. Because the top half is a woman and she detaches herself from the legs and she goes to the village. And I can't remember if she feeds on babies and young mothers or if it's babies and children.
What?
It is the scariest. I don't know why that one freaks
Okay.
me out. And because of course they've got like the grudge hair too, and they're supposed to be beautiful women during the day,
But at
beautiful,
night.
but at night, yeah, it's a little freaky.
All right. Well, what do we settle on? Deneg, a Filipino vampire who worked side by side with humans for years until a woman cut her finger and Deneg sucked her wound and enjoyed the taste so much that it drained her body completely. There were 3 entries that caught her attention. The Romanian, what is with these stupid names? Vacrocolo, Varacolaci.
Veracokai?
Sure, we'll go with that, but I'm not saying it again. A powerful undead being who could appear as a beautiful, pale skinned human. The Slavic Napsi, Nelapsi.
Nipsey?
Sure, I'm just gonna say what I think it is and then just spell it and we're
As
we're
y'all have
going with it.
noticed throughout this series, both the Twilight and the Chaos Chronicles, we do not have multicultural tongues, okay? We're trying. We really are.
Mm-mm. So if you know how to actually pronounce any of these, please
Help.
make one of those nice this is how you say it in the comments.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that very
Like,
much.
write it out phonetically, please.
Thank you. I couldn't remember that word.
And it's okay. The only reason I remember is because I've had to phonetically say my name or spell it out for so many applications and
I bet.
forms for my whole life.
Yeah, I bet.
And I still have to, especially with the double last names. No one gets those.
Yeah. So the Slavic Nelapsi is a creature so fast and strong that it could massacre an entire village in an hour. And then finally, the Strenogi beneficii, Stregoni space Benefici.
Serogoni benefici.
It's an Italian vampire.
That's the only reason why I'm relatively confident a little.
Yeah. Said to be on the side of goodness and a mortal enemy of all evil vampires.
Hmm. Oh, that ties in with something else. Ha ha ha. That is more in the second book, third book, last book. They become part of the other 3 books.
Oh, good to know.
Those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Jess will find out.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys want to comment all you want about whatever, I don't really care because Connie will be screening all of the comments.
Yeah.
So
No
go
spoilers. No spoilers for you.
Yeah. No, I am ignoring anything that goes through on any of those videos. So go nuts. I won't look at them.
I will. I will commiserate with you on good or bad plot points. Hell, I'll argue with you. If you think that Edward is the biggest green flag in the world, I will post the line for mental health that is a national hotline, and then I will argue with you.
Oof. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that because that would be a tangent that we don't want to get into right now.
No.
So, upon reading this last one, Bella was relieved that there were at least claims of good vampires. Bella was going over all that Jacob had said and her own knowledge on vampires from TV and came to a problem. Many movies and her research said that vampires couldn't come out in the daytime as they would burn. So they slept in coffins and came out at night. Bella was irritated and shut the computer down. She put her boots and rain jackets on and stormed outside, not knowing where she was going. She began to walk across the yard and into the forest. She was following a thin trail so she wouldn't get lost. Bella was deep into the forest when she came across a recently fallen tree, and the forest was silent. There wasn't even songs from birds, which is kind of eerie.
I vaguely remember that in, I believe it's Midnight Sun, and I don't remember, I could be wrong. Somebody correct me in the comments. I believe there had been
Someone there.
a bear or something, but if you've already picked up, somebody takes care of making sure nothing gets to her.
Yeah. Well, it's like she as in Stephanie, the author, she was setting it up in a way that was like someone was watching her.
Which I'm gonna let y'all know right now, if you haven't already figured out, creepily watching the object of your affection or interest without them knowing, don't do that. Don't do that.
Really creepy.
Don't do that. Of course, I am a little hypocritical because there are a lot of times where my husband's getting ready in the morning and I'll just stare at him from our bed and I'm like, aw, you're so
Okay,
cute.
different. You guys are married and live together and it's in your home.
He finds it weird though. He'll be like, can you stop? I'm like, well, stop being sexy then. Like, not my fault. That's usually when he shuts the door and rolls his eyes. Yeah.
I don't know. It in my own home, I don't think it's creepy. Outside though, if well, especially I don't know, if you don't know anybody's there, like you're here in your home, you know the other person is there and they could be staring at you. Like I don't have issue with that. The issue comes in where I don't know you're there and you're staring at me.
Right.
It gets really uncomfortable and spooky. And I was reading this, I'm like, who is about to pop out of here?
No, that's why I have always been a big proponent of blinds or that cling on the. That was my shoulder.
Welcome to the club.
Woo! Or that cling where it makes it opaque so you can't see through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm such a proponent of that because I think I told you the story about Megan's bedroom in college, where the super quick side note, the duplex that I lived in, we had the main and the lower level in college. And my roommate Megan and I, at the time, we lived in the basement rooms and we had egress windows. And so there was one night in the winter, there was a lot of snow that had fallen. Megan comes into my room super freaked out, but she's like the chillest, most composed person I know. And she came in and she's like, Connie, there's somebody outside my window. And we were like, what? So I go in her room with her. We're being super quiet because she did not have blinds up on that one. And all of a sudden we hear someone walking in the snow.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
we bolted out of that room. We ran upstairs, grabbed my other two roommates, and we're like, someone is out there. And they're like, maybe it's the family upstairs, because upstairs was a mom, dad, and two teenage kids, like older teenage kids. So I run upstairs to my neighbor Dave, and I'm like, Dave, is anyone, outside on the side of the house? And he goes, no. I'm like, someone's outside Megan's room. And God bless this man. He was a big, bald, super long goatee rock star. Like, just love this man. He ran past me, charged out the front door, and he was ready to fight somebody. And we found footprints outside of Megan's window in the snow. It was so freaky. And I love Dave so much because he was like, no, you girls need anything, you call me, I will protect you like my girl. Like
So
you are one of, or you're our kids, which is nice. Though I don't think the wife, I know the wife didn't like us as much, but Dave did.
well, at least we got one. That's all that
We
matters.
got one, but we ended up calling the cops and making a report because we're like, hey,
Oh yeah, you definitely should.
this happened. That was one of the freakiest nights. I didn't like that one. I did not like that one at all.
Nope, that's a little too close for comfort.
No, I started sleeping with pepper spray in my nightstand.
I probably would too at that point.
Yeah, because I'm like, I also have an egress window. I had blinds up. She didn't. So ever since then,
Get blinds up, people.
we do blinds. Yeah, which is a quick little aside, but yeah, creepy, scary, didn't like.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
not like.
So it was very, very quiet. There may have been someone staring at her from afar. And it began to rain. In the silence, Bella focused on two of the most important questions. First, was it possible that what Jacob had said about the Cullens was true? Second, could the Cullens be vampires? Bella thought about how there was no rational explanation as to how she is alive. The speed and strength is not possible. Edward's eyes change from golden to black. He has inhuman beauty. Whatever. Pale, never seems to eat, and speaks sometimes that fits best with turn of the century novels. He skipped class when they were doing blood typing. He said no to the beach trip only when he heard where they were going. He knew what everyone around him was thinking except Bella, and he told her that he was the villain and dangerous. That's a lot. That's a long list.
You know, for a girl as smart as she is putting things together, she's about to make some dumb decisions.
Granted,
17.
17. And when we were 17, we're like, oh, well, me. Hi, red
No, me
flags.
too.
Welcome.
Me too. Actually, I'm going to give myself some credit because that's when I started dating a green flag.
Yeah, you figured things out faster than I did.
I don't know if I can turn it off at all, but it was high school. We can't judge too much.
Not too much.
Maybe I'm judging harsher because when I read this as a 12, 13-year-old, like you feel like you can judge the 17-year-old because you're like, oh, I'm relating to this character, which is weird because I was younger and different mentally. But yeah, I still have a little bit of that where I'm like, Bella's supposed to be this older, mature person in my brain. And now I'm reading this. I'm like, she's 17. 17.
17.
You're a child. You're a child.
Yes.
You can't even can vote yet.
Not quite. Almost. Not quite.
Almost. Well, the law doesn't care. Almost. Don't try to vote at 17.
No. 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 Anywho, Bella concluded that Edward Cullen was not human and was something more. Even if he was a vampire, though, what next? She barely believes it herself, and if she involved any other person, they would have her committed to a psych ward.
Yeah. I mean, yes. If I had pretty much anyone, besides you, if you came up to me and you're like, hey, something serious mumbo jumbo is going on, I'd be like, oh shit, something serious mumbo jumbo is going on. Because I know like you walk through it rationally. But a 17-year-old, I might have a
hey,
little
Connie,
bit of,
so and so's a vampire.
I might be like, okay, well, evidence.
Let's talk
Present
through
your
things.
argument.
And then we will judge.
And then we'll figure it out. But at the same time, I'm not one to take risk with the supernatural juju as evidence in multiple episodes.
Mhm.
I will still sprinkle some holy water, slip in a couple of Christos, see if they flinch, you know, all that stuff. Or is that demons? Demons? I don't know. I got a holy Bible upstairs I could read. Would that help? Is there a section of the Bible on fighting demons?
I mean, they use Bibles in exorcisms.
That's true. I got my grandma's old Catholic Bible up there.
There we go.
It's thick.
Well, all right. So we have strayed far off into exorcisms. So,
Normal day, normal podcast.
Bella says she only has two practical options. One, take his advice and be smart and avoid him as much as possible. You should probably do that, but I know you're not. And the thought of pushing him away overwhelms Bella with feelings of despair. The second option is do nothing differently. After all, even if he is, quote, sinister, end quote, he hadn't done anything to hurt her so far, and he actually saved her life. So how bad could he really be?
Never pose that question to the universe because it will answer you.
and you will not like it.
No, that is in the same boat as, well, could it get any worse? Yes, it could. Why would you bring that upon
It can
yourself?
always get
It
worse.
can. The second I hear someone even starting that question, I'm not a violent person despite podcasts, but I will smack somebody at that point. I'll be like, no, you are asking the universe to come in right now. And I am too close to you. I am within radius of that damage. I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's a side note, but I stand by it.
So, in that moment, it then dawned on Bella that in her dream, she was screaming out in terror at the wolf's lunge. It wasn't in fear of the wolf that brought the cry of no to her lips, but it was the fear that he would be harmed. He, Edward.
Eddie
She
boy.
feared for him.
For him, not of him. Because of him. Scared of him.
You should be
Y'all, yeah.
scared of him.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to have a supernatural being, be around you, it is better to have them obsessed with you in a good way than a stabby, stabby, drink your blood type of way.
I mean, there is that.
Yeah, that's an easy would you rather.
Yeah. So Bella doesn't know if there was ever a choice for her to make, though. She was in too deep. That's never true. But even if it feels that way, it's not. You can leave.
You can leave.
When she thinks of him, she thinks of his voice, his hypnotic eyes, and the magnetic force of his personality, and she wants nothing more than to be with him.
Does he have a personality at this point? Because the only thing I'm thinking of is he's a dick.
I
A
was going to
flippy
say his
floppy dick.
personality is being a dick.
Yeah. It's, oh, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to be nice. Have y'all had the field trip scene yet?
No.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yet, no. He is something else.
Yeah, he's So Bella decided to turn around and began to run home because it started to rain. Bella dressed in jeans and a t-shirt since she was staying inside today and went to work on a paper that was due on Macbeth.
Does anyone actually learn Macbeth in high school?
No.
Okay, I was going to say I didn't, and I was in those advanced,
I was too. The
fuck?
advanced English classes.
Advanced English and language arts. And we didn't do that. There was a couple of Shakespeare's, but not a whole lot.
Not really.
No.
I don't remember reading much of Shakespeare.
No.
Not as much as I was told I would read.
Right? It was more Catcher in the Rye. I don't get why everyone loves that book. Well, maybe that's a good thing.
I never read that one either.
It's oh my god. I think, wow, that was a very white girl. I think there's a point where Edward talks about Catcher in the Rye, either in Twilight or in Midnight Sun.
I have not gotten to it yet.
Okay, so. I can't. It might have been Midnight Sun, but Catcher in the Rye is the whiny ravings of a pick-me boy. I did not love it, and yet it has been referenced as a favorite book by many psychotic and serial killer folks. So
that's cool. Well, that tracks for Edward then.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, I think it was also the favorite book of the guy who shot John Lennon. Yeah, anyway.
Okay. So yeah. Bella felt relief now that she had made a choice, and she thinks that the choice was, quote, ridiculously easy to live with, dangerously easy, end quote. I just had to, I know there's a lot of quotes going on right now, but I can't not include them because what are you doing?
What are they doing? I'm going to figure that out later.
It's your fridge.
It is the fridge. That's a new noise of the fridge. But yeah, okay, so girl is down bad.
She is.
Yep.
So Bella finishes her paper and Charlie came home with a large catch. Bella made a mental note to pick up a book that had a lot of fish recipes when she goes to Seattle next week.
Okay,
which
that's
is really sweet.
By the way, that is a version of love language that I don't think people recognize enough. This is a really quick side note. We'll get back to Twilight. But those little things of noticing something that your family, your friends, your partner, just doing something that shows you're supporting their activity or making something easier on
Mhm.
them, that means a lot.
Yeah. So that is super sweet.
It
That
is
she's
super
like,
sweet.
"Oh, you like to go fishing a lot. Catch a lot of fish. Well, might as well go and get some more recipes since you're going to be bringing it home."
That's really sweet.
Very sweet.
Oh, this is honestly, of the father daughter relationships in young adult literature,
This is probably one of the better ones.
I think it is. At least I haven't read all the, young adult literature stuff, but
And I'm also, only, what is this, chapter 7 of
yeah.
Twilight at this point. So
But
I
overall,
can't
I'm
say for the
saying
rest, but
it's really sweet because dads are either dead or dick in most of the other books.
yes, you're not wrong.
Team Charlie. Woo!
Love Charlie. Bella sleeps dreamlessly that night, and for the second time since being in Forks, she woke up to a bright yellow sunny day. Charlie had been fishing. That autocorrected to fishing, and it's supposed to be finishing.
I'm just glad it didn't correct to fisting.
So Charlie had been finishing making breakfast when Bella came downstairs. Charlie picked up on Bella's mood and commented that it was a nice day out. She agreed with a smile, and Charlie smiles back at her. Bella says that when she sees Charlie smile, she understands why her mom jumped too quickly into marrying Charlie, and most of the young romantic he was faded before Bella knew him. But when he smiled, she can see a glance of the man that her mom ran away with when she was just 2 years older than Bella currently was. So 19.
Yeah, that's so
That's
sweet.
sweet.
I do like moments where you can see parents or older couples where you can see them being in love with each other as like the husband, wife, 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 husband, husband, whatever it is, the
Yeah.
partners. I think those are sweet moments,
Very sweet. Very, very
especially when
sweet.
they're old couples. That's
So
so
cute.
sweet. The amount of couples that were dancing at my wedding.
That was really cute.
It was really cute because they were dancing. By
They
the
were.
way,
They were doing a great job.
they did so well. But I thought it was just the sweetest thing.
Very sweet.
Ain't that right, Zeus? I would dance with you if you'd let me carry you. I said carry, and his eyes went. Mm.
Let's not.
It's like, let me snuggle my torn up sheep.
It's cute. Bella got to school early, so she put her rain jacket down on the picnic bench as it was still damp, and she went over some trig problems she wanted to take another look at. Halfway through the first problem, she began to daydream. She was watching the sun on the trees, and she began to sketch on the margins of her homework as she daydreamed. After a few minutes, she realized she drew 5 pairs of dark eyes staring back at her. Quickly, she reached for her eraser and began to erase it.
See, they should add a little part there. Did the eyes match? Because anyone who has ever doodled or drawn eyes should know one looks great. Second one doesn't. It does not. It never looks right. It's so bad.
Mike calls to Bella and comes to sit next to her. She says that Mike is so delighted to see her, and she couldn't help but feel gratified. Mike comments that he never noticed that her hair had red in it, and Bella says that it's only that way in the sun. Bella becomes a little uncomfortable as he tucked the lock of her hair that was fluttering in the breeze behind her ear. No, what are you doing?
Uh-uh.
He's seen
Uh-uh.
he's seen like signs, like yes signs somehow when she just keeps turning him down.
No.
No, no, no.
No.
Don't touch people.
Don't touch people. And especially the hair behind the ear thing. Like, the only people who can
So
do that to
creepy.
me would be my immediate family, my husband, you, Jody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I know she watches this episode. Hey, girl.
Hey, Jody.
And hi, Cullen.
Hello. So, yeah, don't no. Just no.
It's weird. It's such a personal thing.
It's just I read it and I was like, I got the creeps.
Yeah.
When they began to talk about the paper Bella finished yesterday that was due on Wednesday, Mike clearly had not started it. But Mike asks Bella if she wants to go out for dinner or something that night. Bella tells Mike that she doesn't think that's the best idea. Mike's face fell and he asks, "Why?" Why, Connie? Why is it not a good idea?
um, because your paper's not done, Mike. And you should really get that done. I'd feel really bad if you got a bad grade because I distracted you. Read between the lines.
Well, she does a little better than that.
Oh, good.
So Bella responds with, quote, "I think, dot, dot, dot. And if you ever repeat what I'm saying right now, I will cheerfully beat you to death." I threatened. But I think that would hurt Jessica's feelings. Mike was bewildered. Oh, end quote, by the way. Mike was bewildered, and Bella asks if he was blind. She takes advantage of Mike being dazed to make her escape, and she goes to class.
Good girl.
Go, Bella.
See, she has got some skills in her back pocket that she does not break out with Edward, but she breaks out with the others.
Yeah.
Like, pull out those stabby, stabby, stabbies, jabby, jabbies.
All the above.
All of the above.
So in Trig, Jessica tells Bella that she, as in Jessica, Angela, and Lauren were going dress shopping that night and wanted Bella to come with, even though she doesn't need a dress. Bella's indecisive, as getting out of town with some friends would be nice, but Lauren would be there. So she said that she might go, but she needs to check with Charlie. Jessica continues to talk about the dance all throughout their next class and then on their way to lunch. Bella was long lost from the conversation as she was eager to see all of the Cullens and compare them with her new suspicions. As she entered the cafeteria, she became anxious because she is worried that they can read her mind and will know exactly what she's thinking. Bella is scanning the cafeteria, but the Cullens aren't there. Bella goes to sit next to Angela, and she vaguely notices that Mike held the chair out for Jessica, and her face lit up in response.
Aww.
Well, Mike's a slow learner, but he's getting there.
Very slow. Very slow.
Yeah, so school ended, and Bella was happy to leave campus so she would be, quote, free to pout and mope before going out with Jessica and company, end quote.
Lauren was not in the movie, and she was not in the Seattle scene where they go dress shopping. And I do appreciate that difference between the movies and the books. But I also think now that I'm an adult, I do not have patience for that cattiness, not being
No.
a girl's girl. Like, that's Now, being a girl's girl doesn't mean you cover up for your girl when she like robs a guy or she's trying to keep his kid from him. What it means is that we don't play the catty bullshit, try to undermine one girl to make yourself feel better or look better,
Exactly.
because you don't.
Yeah.
You actually look really bad,
Really,
and
really
people
bad.
can tell.
Yes.
Yeah, so don't do that. Do not do that.
No. So when Bella got home, Jessica actually called her to cancel their plans because Mike asked her out to dinner for that night.
Aw, Mike's
Yeah.
gonna fail his paper.
He is, but that's a him problem.
That's a him problem. But he's
Yeah.
with Jessica. Aw.
Yeah. So Bella was relieved that Mike is finally catching on, and Jessica reschedules the shopping to the following night. Bella doesn't have to start prepping dinner since it was ready to be cooked, so she works on her homework, emails her mom, and then goes to read a non-school related book. She grabs a compilation of the works of Jane Austen and an old quilt and goes outside to read. Bella says that her favorites are Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility. But she had read Pride and Prejudice more recently, so she decided on Sense and Sensibility. Once getting to chapter 3, she suddenly remembered the hero of the story is named Edward. So she angrily turns to Mansfield Park, but then realizes the hero in that one is called Edmund, and that was just too close. She shuts the book in annoyance, rolls onto her back, and closes her eyes.
I remember the scene from Twilight and from Midnight Sun. Also, I can see
In Midnight Sun, so Edward was there watching her. I got confirmation, guys. She was, because that was the next part that I'm like, 100%. Someone is there watching her again.
It's so
I got
funny.
confirmation. Haha.
No, but it's so funny because now that I'm thinking about it, I can get if Pride and Prejudice is one of her favorite works. I have not read Sense and Sensibility. I am sorry, but I can see why she would like Edward because there is some parallel with the Mr. Darcy character.
Oh.
Now,
It's been a long time since I've read that book.
it's been a long time.
Long.
Honestly, what I've seen more recently is Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
I want to read that book. It is.
I haven't read it, but I've seen the movie.
It's on my. It's a movie now.
It's a movie. It's a couple of years ago. It came out as a movie with what is her name? Is her name Lily Allen, the one who plays in the live action Cinderella? She plays.
Oh, she's a good actress.
She is a good actress. She's beautiful.
She is.
She plays. Oh my god!
I can't help you.
The main character. Elizabeth?
I know, but I
No.
don't. I have Google in front of me.
This should not be as hard as it is. Yeah, but she plays her.
Elizabeth Bennett.
Bennett. Yes,
Bennett.
Elizabeth Bennett.
Bennett.
And then Lena Hadley. Did you watch Game of Thrones? Okay, so Cersei, she plays the high court royal lady.
Of course she does.
Was it Darcy's aunt? Mr. Darcy's aunt?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's been years. Bella shuts the book in annoyance, rolls onto her back, and closes her eyes. She seems to drift off, and the next thing she is conscious of is Charlie's car suddenly turning into the driveway. Bella sat up abruptly, realizing she fell asleep, and got the sudden feeling that she wasn't alone. It was Edward. It's been confirmed.
Dang it.
Bella jumps up, grabs her things, and goes inside to start heating oil on the stove for fish. Charlie was inside hanging up his gun when she came in. Bella apologized that dinner will be late because she fell asleep outside. Charlie says not to worry about it. They end up watching TV together after dinner. Charlie switched on a sitcom because he knew she didn't like basketball, but they both ended up not liking the sitcom. Charlie seemed happy to just be doing something together, which is really sweet. That's also another love language. Quality
Just spending time.
Yeah, quality time.
You don't have to be doing something grand, just time with each other.
All right, so during the commercial break, Bella tells him that Jessica and Angela are going to Port Angeles to look for dresses and wanted her to help them. She asks if it's okay for her to go with them. Charlie is confused and asks, quote, "But you're still not going to the dance, right?" Bella thinks, quote, "I wouldn't have to explain this to a woman."
She's right.
So she reiterates to him that no, she wasn't going, but helping them find dresses and giving them constructive criticism. Charlie says it's okay, but it's a school night. Bella said that they'll leave right after school, so they'll be back early, and then asks if he'll be home for dinner. This part is really cute. Charlie said that he did feed himself for 17 years before she got there. Bella responds saying she doesn't know how he survived, but she'll leave something for cold cut sandwiches on the fridge on the top.
Oh,
How sweet is that?
that is sweet. Also, I do like that moment because we've talked about how, oh my God, Renee, there we go. We talked about Renee, the mom, how she is more the scatterbrained, the high energy, the wild child spirit, and Bella has to be the more mature, have everything together type of
Bella
person.
has to be the adult so she can be a kid.
Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so sweet this moment where Charlie is like, I'm recognizing that you're trying to take care of me, but kid, you don't have to. You're the kid here. I survived without it.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little pushback of reminding Bella that you don't have to be the one to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Really, really sweet. Love Charlie.
We love Charlie.
I will take my moment saying I love Charlie so many times because we don't get many of them. And there are a lot of what the fuck Edwards.
There is
So
a lot of what the fuck Edwards. There is in again, I don't remember New Moon or Eclipse as well, but Breaking Dawn, we like Charlie. He's still very supportive of Bella despite all the stuff where he's like, what the what? But he's supportive. He doesn't know everything, but he's supportive.
I assumed as much, but I'm just happy in bliss right now. I know it's gonna happen, but I don't. We're not
Enjoy.
thinking that far ahead right now. We're in chapter 7 still.
Not thinking ahead, like Bella. Anyway,
So the next morning it was also sunny, so Bella dresses for the warm weather. She planned on cutting it close to school so she would almost be late for class. The lot was so full that she had to circle the lot several times, and in doing so, she noticed that the silver Volvo wasn't there. She found a spot and arrived just before the final bell. During the day, Bella discovered that Lauren had. Sorry, I just want to quickly say Ruby is snoring, so if you can hear that, apologies.
that's what that was. I heard it and I'm like, was that a snore?
Yeah, she is snoring and it's quite loud next to me, so I will be shocked.
It totally registered.
So apologies for the snoring. That is Ruby.
B.
All right, so we're just gonna keep going. Hopefully, the dog snoring is just ambiance.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly what that is.
So during the day, Bella discovered that Lauren had other obligations that night, so she couldn't make it to dress shopping.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Bella vowed to herself that she would be in a good mood tonight for Angela and Jessica and thinks that she could maybe do with some clothes shopping herself. Bella says that she refuses to think she might be going to Seattle this weekend alone, and surely he wouldn't cancel without at least telling her, right?
This girl has too much faith.
Yes.
Without telling her, man, he has flippity floppity on you more than a flip flop on tourists in Australia. Like,
Yeah.
what do you
And
want?
he's told her multiple times he doesn't owe you anything.
People tell you who they are, believe it. People show you who they are,
Mm-hmm.
believe it.
Yes. After school, Jessica followed Bella home so she could drop her things off and then carpool with Jessica. Bella brushes her hair and leaves a note explaining to Charlie where to find dinner. Again, super cute. Bella gets her purse and joins Jessica. They go to Angela's house to pick her up. And the last sentence, quote, "My excitement increased exponentially as we actually drove out of the town limits," end quote.
Hmm.
And that is chapter 7.
So we've been given notes throughout, but I just gotta say real quick, I forgot about the dream thing with the whole Jacob turning into a wolf.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this supposed to be like a little like prophetic? There we go, prophetic dream. I think I said that right. I don't remember that because she doesn't have any inkling about wolves or anything for Jacob yet.
not for him. Jacob did say that their enemy was werewolves in his scary story.
That's right. He did mention that. But I don't remember her having like a connection to the reservation with wolves. That's more New Moon.
Okay.
Well, New Moon is really all about the reservation.
Huh. I thought he kind of alluded to the fact that they were werewolves in his scary stories thing.
Maybe he did, and I just don't remember that part. Either way, it's also kind of weird that Mike was in there.
I know, very odd. But also, like, we all have dreams, and all of a sudden there's this random person that you haven't seen since, I don't know, you were in 5th grade, and you're like, oh yeah, that was a person I used to talk to. Why did you pop up? So I got nothing.
That, shoot, the dream I texted you the other day.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I suppose. No. Mike, I'm liking Mike more now that he is turning his attention to Jessica.
I'm not.
I mean, it's not that I don't like him, but how he responded to Bella being like, hey, dipshit, I'm not going to dinner with you because Jessica likes you. Go talk to Jessica.
Yeah, I get that. But also, he is so pushy.
Oh, yeah, it's not absolving him by any means.
No, it's just calm down, take a breath. She said no. Take the hint. And what more than a hint?
It's not even a hint.
No.
It's a sentence.
Yeah.
No is enough. No is a full sentence.
If someone tells you no, don't keep pushing.
No. Hey, you want to get dinner? No. All right, how about coffee? No.
Yeah.
That should be that.
Yeah.
No.
Done and done.
Done. Yeah. That's for asking other people. Now, if you're talking to your husband, wife, spouse, or other, oh, do you want Chipotle? No. Okay. Do you want this? No. How about this? No. Keep asking questions until you're in an argument if you're not already by the second or third no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
causes a lot of issues.
It does. You know, supposedly there's a trick around that where you say to the other person who's...
Do you want to go here, here, or here?
Not even that. You say, hey, I'm thinking about we do this or this. Which one are you leaning towards? And they say, oh, well, I'm kind of thinking about this. Well, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, how about this? Or we do this one. Oh, that's better. And like somehow just saying it in that like, hey, ha 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 ha. Somehow it works instead of what do you want? Yeah. I'm just saying it in theory.
In theory.
Granted, it works with me because I have so many limited options about what restaurants work. So,
that is fair.
Yeah, we don't really have a long list of do you want this or this?
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
This, or cook at home. It's pretty much always the last one.
Yeah.
That's okay. Ain't that right, Zooskers? Because when you cook at home, you're not paranoid about, oh, do I eat slow? Do I have to be like super nice and polite? We can just be comfy on the couch together.
Absolutely.
Or the table. If my in-laws are watching, we eat on the table, not the couch. Don't worry. They gave us this couch.
All right. Well, another chapter without Eddie Boy in it.
Yes, but it's all about Eddie Boy.
It is all about him. And he was in it. We just didn't know he was in it. But I had a feeling, so thank you for confirming. She did make it very obvious that someone was watching her. My question was, is it Edward or is it someone else?
It is. I like the chapter more from Edward's perspective in Midnight Sun because there's a little bit... hiccups. I don't want to say there's more going on, but like there's just
something else further.
It's a little bit more intriguing from that point of view, but that's also because I already know the story from Bella's point of view, so that's probably where I'm like, this is more. And plus, Stephanie Meyer wrote it later when her writing had matured and developed a bit more, so I just find it a little bit easier to read through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, starting at chapter 8, I began to read and listen to the audiobooks. So, these will be getting easier to read and help me make more sense of Sometimes her writing is confusing, so it's helped me with a lot
Yes.
of clarity.
It is difficult sometimes to tell who is talking.
Well, it's not even that. It's some of the descriptions I just get lost in, and I'm like, wait, what even just happened? Like the whole car thing. I still have no idea how Edward stopped Tyler's truck.
Was it hands? Was it shoulder? Was it kachunka?
Yeah, everything just kind of seemed to contradict itself.
Yeah.
Eh,
Which, if that was a stylistic choice to show that Bella doesn't know what's going on,
I mean, props to you because I was confused.
yeah, sure. We'll call it that.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that's chapter 7. Do you have anything else to say about chapter 7?
Not a whole lot here, but I am excited for what it's getting into. And for those who have read the book or seen the movie, you know where it's going. So we're going to start picking up on a little bit more.
Yeah.
Y'all know a very exciting scene is coming up. It's really exciting to read it from Edward's perspective as well.
All right.
And actually, Edward's perspective of the scene that we're going to do, which y'all have probably figured out, it's really satisfying because you don't get an answer to what happened to an individual from Bella's perspective,
Oh,
but you get it from Edward's.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we will get to that eventually, I guess. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are subscribed and following us. We are on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram at Chaos Chronicles Podcast. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you thought of this chapter. Did you think that it was Edward actually in the outskirts watching Bella, or did you think it was someone else?
True.
My money was on someone else, to be
Your buddy
honest.
was on someone else. Also, I want someone else to validate what I'm trying to remember of that scene where Bella's listening to the music and it's Nickelback. Was that a meme? Was that an edit? Somebody tell me, or is this just like a fever dream? I want answers.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.